Hey, Justin Abel here with STL Tones, and today I'm excited to bring you the September update for ControlHub. The guys at STL Tones got their hands on some vintage Neve 1073s and made a bunch of really cool presets that I'm excited to check out. Let's go ahead and get into Pro Tools. So there are 35 presets available in this collection. Some are individual models and others are merged presets, but you'll find them both in the same place. All you have to do is go to the Trace Exchange, click on the STL Tones profile, and you'll see them here. You're not gonna see them in this video because this is pre-release and they're not in the Trace Exchange yet, but they will be for you. If you haven't downloaded something from the Trace Exchange before, you're just gonna click on this download button on the preset that you would like. You can create a new folder or place it in a folder. I made one called Neve 1073 Vintage, and click Save. And after you do that, the individual models will be inside of tracer models and the merged presets will be underneath tracer presets right here. Just as a quick reminder, another way to access your individual models would be in the color section down here. You can click on the word default and it'll pop up My Tracer Models and you'll see Neve 1073 Vintage and all of the traces included there. Okay, so first things first, let's start on mix bus. Let's just go through some of the individual models and see what it does to this mix. This song's by an artist named Mitch Wilson. It's a song called Secondhand Emotion.
The secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on the secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me.
Let's go ahead and go to line high.
Coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand emotion, out of control. I'm addicted to the contact high.
Let's go ahead and check out the, there's mic input too. Let's go to the clean mic input.
Secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand emotion.
It definitely feels a little hotter on the mic side. Let's go to high line.
Secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand emotion, out of control. I'm addicted to the contact high. I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you.
And I'm really liking how that sounds. We can go into the dynamic section, add my Dione, which is like an SSL bus compressor.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand emotion, out of control. I'm addicted to the contact high. I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move.
Yeah, digging that. Okay, let's go ahead and load up some of those merged presets I was talking about. Here's Mix Bus Warm.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand.
That sounds like a setting that would be really good to mix into because you can see at the end of a mix adding this, it's scooping out the mids too much. So if I wanted to use this, I would actually just do a mid bump. I'd actually probably use the pre-EQ for this.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me.
Yeah, something like that.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's rubbing off on me. I get a secondhand emotion,
And it adds a really nice sheen. Okay, next let's move on to a vocal example. On this song, I really like the vocal sound we got, and it's pretty tailored to the song. So let's just add ControlHub at the end of my plugin chain right here. And we're just gonna be using the individual models to add some color and see what we can get out of it. I'm gonna pull up Neve 1 mic middle.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close.
Maybe I should not do middle. Maybe we'll do clean.
I get a secondhand emotion, coming close. I get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your body's.
And the ControlHub is adding a lot of goodness and kind of bringing that lead vocal a little more forward in a way that I really like, so that's awesome. Okay, let's move on to an acoustic guitar example. So in the chorus, there's this acoustic guitar that sounds like this. Let's go through some of these merged presets. There's rhythm guitar, energy. Let's try this. Oh, I like that.
Out of control. Get a secondhand emotion, coming close, the way you move your.
Okay, so this is really cool. I'm learning this real time with you because this is my first time really getting my hands on these. And these presets are really good at adding just kind of like vibe and thickness to your signals without adding compression or EQ. So it's like even before grabbing a fader, it might be nice just grabbing some of these presets and throwing them on your signal, because if you need a little bit more volume or perceived volume, the harmonic saturation that comes from these it's going to give you a little bit of a boost, and it feels really, really nice. Okay, let's move to bass bus, and we're going to use, there's a couple of bass presets. Let's try bass booster. So definitely cutting some mids, but adding some really good body. Both really good sounding. So if I were working off of this bass booster, I love how it's thickening the low end without it feeling overhyped, just kind of like saturated, consistent, and really pro. Okay, and last example, everybody's favorite example all the time, drum bus. So let's go ahead and pull up an instance of ControlHub. Okay, and let's go back to these individual models for the drum bus. And I want to start on the mic traces just because they're a little bit hotter, and I like a really hot sounding drum bus, especially on a song like this. So let's just start on the middle. It's adding a really nice sustain to all of the drum shells without it being kind of like overblown sounding, and it's kind of still maintaining the vibe, the tight vibe of the song that's supposed to sound like a little nostalgic.
You're right.
I'm stoked on these new presets. I think they sound awesome. Can't wait to start using them in my own productions, and I think you're gonna really love them too. So if you already have ControlHub, you can just head over to the Trace Exchange and you can grab these all right now. If you wanna learn more about ControlHub or any of the other awesome plugins from STL, go ahead and head over to stltones.com to learn more.